3 Indian soldiers have been killed in a violent border confrontation with China, and it's the first fatal incident reported in 45 years. Tensions have been high, with both sides deploying thousands of additional troops in recent weeks. The Indian Army says senior military officials from both India and China are now on site to try to defuse the situation. Neha Punya tells us more.
According to analysts who track Indo-China ties, they're saying this is perhaps the most serious escalation along the border since the two sides fought a war in the early 1960s. It's important to remember that a lot of the information we're getting right now is simply through two statements that have been issued by the Indian Army here in India and the Chinese Foreign Ministry across the border in China. And the biggest confirmation that's come through in the last few hours is that there were no gunshots fired. Initially, it was assumed that this was an actual face-off along the border by both sides, but now we're given to understand that this was a death that happened because of a physical combat. I'm going to read out the Indian government statement now, and they've said that during the de-escalation process underway in the Galwan Valley, that's in eastern Ladakh in northern India, a violent face-off took place yesterday, that's on Monday night, with casualties on both sides. There's no word yet on the death toll that's happened on the Chinese side yet, but there are some reports, unverified reports at this point in time, that say there were 5 soldiers killed in China as well. And the government has said that Indian military officials are meeting with Chinese officials at the site of that dispute to try and de-escalate the situation. China, on its part, this is a statement that's being attributed to the Chinese Foreign Ministry, and they're saying that Indian troops on Monday seriously violated the consensus the both sides had agreed by illegally crossing the border twice and carrying out quote-unquote a provocative attack on Chinese soldiers, resulting in serious physical clashes. Now, this is coming at a time when both sides have been holding talks for many weeks now. That border standoff in Ladakh started first in the first week of May. Since then, both sides have said that they have made a lot of headway in trying to de-escalate the situation, but this clearly tells you that all is not well between India and China's border, especially in Ladakh.